he was writing for WWE during the ratings peak when I guess you guys had rating at one time in the eights, and you worked with him in TNA over the years. I know he had some bad ideas like the Kennel from Hell match, which you've already talked to me about, but what's your opinion of Russo overall, good and bad?
Well, I think Russo was definitely very much a part of the success of WWE at that time. Um, Vince McMahon's formula was that he focused on only 4 or 5 guys, and then the whole show, the whole 2-hour show, was pretty much just those 4 or 5 guys. Where if you switched over to WCW, what was really, besides the timing, you know, and the belief, because the key thing that made WCW successful was at that time people really genuinely believed that WWF was invading WCW when Kevin Nash and Scott Hall first showed up there. That was what lit that whole fuse, was that belief that, oh my God, these guys work for WWF. What are they doing here? And they're just invading. Because you didn't have the internet with people stooging it off. So the audience really bought into it. And that was what got the ball rolling. But then, with Bischoff going out and acquiring like the Lucha guys and Benoit and Malenko, and so you had a variety on the show that when you tuned in, you got to see a lot of different feel and style and different personalities, and it was fresh and it was different. Where in WWF it was very stale at that time. You had the same 5 or 6 guys that were the main focus of the show, and everybody else meant nothing. And Vince Russo was very instrumental in creating ideas that made everyone on the show from start to finish mean something. Everyone was a star to some degree. And everybody had a unique space and a unique place. And he was very creative in his utilization of the talent. And the same goes for TNA. He took that process a lot there. But Vince McMahon and Vince Russo worked very well because they balanced each other out. Vince McMahon was very detached and has obviously had lost a little bit of touch of popular society, where Vince Russo was very tuned in to popular pop culture and modern society and all that. And he would infuse that into Vince McMahon, but Vince McMahon always knew what he was selling, which was at the end of the day, it was the finish. It was the fact that it was a competitive situation.